back in Coney Island, and it does the heart of an old Brooklynite good to be back here. A beautiful 4th of July weekend day. The beach is jammed. The playground area is jammed. The boardwalk jammed. And this is fireworks live between fights. Perhaps, guys, this is to celebrate Jesse James Leija's birthday. He's been unhappy about the inferior treatment he's been getting here as the second man in the fight with Hector Camacho Jr. So we thought we'd dedicate those fireworks to him.
We'll see if he gives himself a birthday present inside the ring. Hector Camacho Jr. says it's only fitting that he's on the card that helps bring boxing back to Brooklyn, because in his words, he says he's boxing's biggest hot dog. And in that respect, he has definitely taken the lead from his father, Hector Camacho Sr., with the extravagant ring entrances and also the unbelievable costumes. And here he is at the Mermaid Parade, not knowing that it was a gay parade. Larry, we have seen very few superstars, children of those superstars, go on to aspire to the same heights. Major League Baseball, one example, Bobby and Barry Bonds. It's never happening in professional boxing. Can Junior break through and be the first?
What they would say in Brooklyn is forget about it. Or what do you know? Well, what we know is that Junior is wisely trying to deflect some of the expectations that come with his name, pointing out that he is a baby at 22 years old. So we're not going to commit premature infanticide here and lay too many expectations on him. What he has shown, however, is that he has inherited his father's gene for hype, for self-promotion, if not his father's speed and hyperactivity. When he joined that parade earlier this week to promote this fight, found out it was a gay parade, his comment was, well, it's a new market to tap it into. He's coming to a fight now that starts a new phase in his career. That's the phase where a promising young fighter tries to add to his resume the name of a fighter who has really earned that name in the ring.
A likable young man who certainly has shown the flair for the dramatic. Let's bring in veteran trainer Emmanuel Stewart. And Emmanuel, now Jesse James Leija is some 12+ years older than Camacho Jr., but he's been in the ring with proven talent. 4 times against Azuma Nelson and also Oscar De La Hoya and Shane Mosley. But is there enough juice left for experience to win out over youth in youth's own backyard?
That's a good question. First of all, Jesse James Leija, even though he's fighting at 140 pounds, he still, to me, has the bone structure of when he was fighting at 130, 135 pounds. And historically, he's always had his biggest problems when he fought fighters who were big guys who had speed, such as Oscar De La Hoya and Sugar Shane Mosley. So this would normally be the worst opponent for him, in addition to being left-handed. So that means he has his work cut out tonight. But nevertheless, Jesse James Leija has been a very serious, consistent fighter. He has a good, solid, fundamental style. And if there's any mistakes made or any shortcomings on Camacho Jr.'s part tonight, he would take advantage of it, because he's coming off of a very good upset over Ivan Robertson. So his emotions and confidence is high. But Ivan Robertson himself was still another 135-pound fighter. So he's got his work cut out tonight. But if Junior isn't ready tonight, Junior will be in trouble.
All right, Emmanuel, let's take a look down the tail of the tape for our junior welterweight bout between Hector Camacho Jr. and Jesse James Leija. Jesse James Leija was 34 yesterday, but as of midnight, he is now 35 years old. And there you see the change. Camacho with the 2-inch height advantage, Leija with the 3-inch reach advantage. Both fighters making the 141-pound weight limit. And as you see, as they stepped on our unofficial HBO scales, they weighed in at the same weight, 149 pounds. Now for rules of the bout, let's send it over to our unofficial ringside scorer, Harold Letterman.
Okay, listen up, guys, because these rules are different. The Hector Camacho Jr. Jesse James Leija fight is scheduled for 10 rounds using the rules of the New York State Athletic Commission. The 3 knockdown rule is in effect. Only the referee can stop the fight. You go to the scorecards on an accidental headbutt, which causes a cut after 5 rounds, and you cannot be saved by the bell on any round, including the 10th and final round. Fran.
All right, Harold. Jesse James Leija is ready to make his way out into the ring as the fireworks continue to fire off here at Keyspan Park in Coney Island.
We didn't have a lot of fireworks in the first fight. I don't know if we'll have fireworks in the next fight, but at least we had fireworks between the fights.
That's right. Now, Leija, he told us yesterday he can't even remember the last time that he fought a southpaw. He says possibly 2, 3, maybe even 4 southpaws that he's fought over his entire career. Emmanuel, how much of a problem do you think that the southpaw Camacho Jr. will present to him tonight?
Speed and the physical side. You must remember that Camacho Jr., when he was in the amateurs his last year in '96, was fighting at 140 pounds in and barely lost a close decision to Zab Judah for the spot on the Olympic team. So he's going to be physically much stronger and bigger, I think, than Jesse James, in addition to the southpaw style.
You know, Leija knows what the reality is here. He says, I was the younger guy coming up once. Now I'm the older guy looking back. But he is a serious fighter, a warrior. He's had an outstanding career. And whatever side that Camacho Jr. fights from, he'll find a way to fight him. And he has an interesting observation, Emmanuel, which is, yes, Camacho weighs more, but his weight is largely in his trunk and below, and that he himself is every bit as big as Camacho from the waist up.
Well, he definitely feels that, but I just feel that the bone structure is what I'm looking at. I think a lot of his weight is the weight that just comes naturally as we age.
And I don't know what those pink gloves are going to do to him.
Unless the Bedford has been complaining about having
They've been complaining about everything, and right into these pink gloves.
Leija fighting out of San Antonio, Texas. His wife Lisa is in attendance. And Larry, let's take a closer look at Jesse James Leija.
Jesse James Leija, as Emmanuel said, his prime weight in his prime was 130 pounds. He was as natural a junior lightweight as we've seen come along, as he showed in 4 fights with the great Azuma Nelson. In those 4 fights, he was 2-1-1, and many people thought he won the draw between them. He got here when he was 34 years old a few months ago by upsetting Ivan Robinson. He is still upset-minded.
All right, now it's time to meet Hector Camacho Jr. Camacho Jr. is in an interesting situation because his last name is Camacho, the expectations are through the roof. People want to see if he has the same boxing prowess in the ring as Camacho Sr. Yet, having had that last name Camacho has allowed him to be brought along at a slower pace. Most fighters who have fought 32 fights, especially if their record were 32-0, would have already challenged for a championship.
Yeah, that's an interesting thing for him because he's had 32 fights as a southpaw boxer in the 4 years he's been a pro. There's not many southpaw boxers that could even get 32 fights in that time. But because of his name and because he is something of a curiosity and an attraction, if not a proven quantity yet, he's been able to do that. And now, because he's an attraction, they feel they can still go slow and not have to face the top guys in the division yet.
that's not going to be the case. He's right at the top of his game now. He's rated #1 contender, and just unfortunately, maybe for him, he's in a super talent-led division. When we look at the championship, Reserve Judah Costa, but he's going to have to, from this point on, step it up.
What I'm amazed by so far is his understated entrance into the ring. This will tell you just how seriously, perhaps, he's taking this not as a showman, but as a prize fighter.
He still got his pink gloves on.
So, Emmanuel, you believe that there shouldn't be too many more Jesse James Leijas in his future. Very quickly, he's going to have to step it up and take on one of the top fighters in the division.
Yes, when you consider the fact that coming from a name such as Camacho, Hector Camacho Jr. of all things, and having a really brilliant amateur career, he normally would have been fighting for a championship of actually fighting 22 fights or 23 fights.
Well, Manuel, you and I will have to agree to disagree on that one. I don't think they want any part of the top guys yet because they feel they can make some pretty good money before they take on fighters who are serious threats to beat him.
And evidently they have some doubt still somewhere along the way because normally he would have been up there if hit. So there's something still that they're not comfortable with. I agree with you, Larry.
Great stuff, guys. All right, Larry, let's take a closer look at Hector Camacho Jr.
When he was a schoolboy, he came with his class to Coney Island and rode the famous Cyclone roller coaster. And just this week, for a baseball game of the Mets farm team called the Cyclones, he threw out a first ball and insists that it was a perfect strike. And we should see a roller coaster trip in his corner tonight because Daddy Camacho is going to be there for the first time. And Junior says he will return the favor next week when Daddy fights.
All right, let's send it up now to ring announcer Michael Buffer with the official pre-fight introductions.
Ladies and gentlemen, from Keyspan Park, Coney Island, Brooklyn, New York, it's time for the main event of the evening. 10 rounds of boxing. This is in the super lightweight division. And it's all brought to you by America Presents in association with DeBella Entertainment and your king of beer, Budweiser. This contest is sanctioned by the New York State Athletic Commission. The 3 judges assigned to ringside, scoring the bout on the 10-point must system will be Bobby Gilson, Larry Hazard Jr., and Chick Hill. And when the bell rings, your referee in charge of the action, Steve Smoger. And now, ladies and gentlemen, for the thousands in attendance and the millions watching around the world, let's get ready to rumble! Introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner, wearing black, trimmed with gold, and weighing in at 139 3/4 pounds. His professional record, an outstanding one. 49 bouts, 42 victories, including 17 knockouts, with 5 losses and 2 draws. From San Antonio, Texas, here is the former 2-time world champion, Jesse James Leija. And his opponent across the ring, fighting out of the red corner, wearing the multicolored trunks and weighing in at 140 1/4 pounds. His professional record, a perfect one. 32 bouts, 32 victories, including 18 knockouts, and he holds the WBA NA title. Ladies and gentlemen, from San Juan, Puerto Rico, presenting the WBA #1 ranked super lightweight in the world, the Macho Man Jr., Hector Macho Camacho Jr.
All right, gentlemen, center ring. Jesse James, Hector. All right, gentlemen, you were given your instructions at the weigh-in. I want you to obey my commands at all times. Respect the bell, and above all, protect yourself at all times. Touch gloves. God bless.
Emmanuel, the small 16-foot plus ring had no effect on the first fight. Can it have an effect on this fight?
It could have an effect on this fight here. But one thing that may be favoring, normally small ring would be against Camacho because normally he's the faster fighter. But they have a hard floor here, so to say. It's not the regular seemingly insulate pattern that we normally have, which would still favor him because he can move faster.
All right, we're underway. The first of potentially 10 rounds of boxing between Hector Camacho Jr. and Jesse James Leija. There is the strong, straight left hand that Hector Camacho Jr. possesses.
And he really likes to paw a lot with his right jab and let you commit by starting a jab of your own, and he takes a half a scoop back and then shoots a straight left.
Emmanuel, you like his power. Camacho Jr.
Yeah, I like his. I think he's a very good fighter. He's, to me, a balanced out fighter. He punches to the body and to the head, whereas his father was primarily a good, simple 1-2 puncher, but he did so well.
And maybe a bad cut over the left eye of Jesse James Leija.
Jesse James Leija has been plagued with cuts. In fact, after we finished our interview yesterday, it was the first thing that I asked him when we left, how have your eyes been holding up? I worked his corner when he fought the first fight with Azuma Nelson in San Antonio, and it's always been a problem with him with his eyes. He gets cut very
It's hard to tell how long the cut is, but it looks as though it could be something that affects the outcome of the fight.
Yeah, especially so soon. He's got a good cut man in Joe Sousa, but he has enough problems with the speed and the left-handed style of his fighter, let alone to be handicapped with a cut this early in the fight.
Emmanuel, you brought up Azuma Nelson. The only time Leija has had a fight stop because of a cut was that third fight with Azuma Nelson, but he does have a tendency, as we mentioned, to cut. He cut against Ivan Robinson over his right eyelid, and also against Juan Lescano.
He's always going to have the problems with the cuts.
Well, always may not be a long time.
No. Even though the cut man is good, it may still be a big problem in this fight.
Camacho ripping a 1-2.
Camacho obviously feels that he's stronger and quicker, being more aggressive than we've seen him. And,
but Leija rocks Camacho Jr., and now Camacho tries to tie up. Strong counter from Jesse James Leija. Start Camacho Jr.
A left hand staggered him.
And that's a punch that a southpaw never looks for as far as a left hook. He's always looking at a right-hander, straight right hand.
And now Camacho starts moving away.
Well, Jesse James is a solid professional fighter.
As we head into the corner of Hector Camacho Jr., our interpreter tonight, Hector Garcia.
We won this round. We won this round. He is cut. You can't be desperate. He's cut. Let's box him now. We already cut him. The advantage is to us now. We beat him on this round.
A punch that very suddenly put Leija back into it. A flurry of punches, a left hand that clearly dazed Camacho Jr.
It was just short of a knockdown. And what made it so effective is I think Camacho's mindset was so much on attack and on scoring a knockout that he was not even prepared or looking for a punch back.
Well, Leija laid back for the first 2 minutes of the round, tried to see what was going on. He's an experienced veteran. When his opportunity came, he took it.
Well, he's having a problem with the speed of Camacho. Once Camacho got close enough and started opening up, he says, well, you're in my firing range now.
Might as well let my hands go.
Yeah.
So it was an eventful first round, a cut and a shot heard round ringside.
A very interesting first round. It'll be interesting to see what the score was, too. I thought his father was supposed to be in the corner. I see his father's out here in the audience. I think he left the corner where he could holler and make more noise without being penalized by the officials.
Junior says doesn't matter. He still hears him, and he still listens to him.
And is sometimes distracted by him. Right hand sneaks through from Leija.
That's his best punch. He said he's going to concentrate on is trying to get in close and to shoot right hand leads. But that's what most southpaws are always trained for. His most effective punch might be the punch that he landed earlier, which was a left hook if he can get close to him.
The crowd here at Keyspan Park in Coney Island, New York, starting to get behind Camacho Jr. Camacho Jr. hard shots to the body of Leija. Leija comes right back with a straight right hand.
Looks like some blood coming from the nostril.
Turning out Camacho. Very good fight.
Camacho, who was booed in his last appearance in New York, is stepping it up here.
The cut over the left eye of Leija is opened up.
Yeah. Leija was fighting an unbelievable fight considering the fact that he was complaining so much and worried about the southpaw style. And I think if it wasn't for this cut, which may be a big factor, this fight could be very interesting.
What a warrior.
I got him mouthpiece.
Joe Souza, the famous cut man, once told me he loved blood. And he's getting enough of it tonight.
Yeah, he's got his blood cut out. He's a good cut man, but I think the same cut is worsening, and there's probably going to be additional cuts possibly even opening up. Jesse James has a very sharp bone ridge over his eyes, and it's some guys, I think, Sean O'Grady had the same problem, and the only way that eventually they were able to handle it was to have an operation.
Don't stand still more than 2 seconds.
Jesse James Leija told us that he's spent over 130 rounds sparring with southpaws to try to get the feeling back. And apparently it's worked. Excuse me, pushes back Leija.
If you notice, Camacho is mixing up his left hands too. He'll shoot one straight, and the next one he'll shoot it in a hook form and bring it around the side of the head. So you can't really anticipate which way to defend it.
That's all right. No head stuff, babe. Come on. Good.
Typically Leija's style He loops a lot of shots. Fires from the outside, but he's doing a good job.
Yes.
Of staying straight up the middle.
Yeah, he's shooting. Got a lot of good straight right-hand leads. It's just that he's shooting them at a distance sometimes where it's too far away. And it gives Camacho a chance to take that step back just like that and then to counter. When he gets close enough, he's effective. But normally Camacho is making him fight at a distance where he can counter him.
There you saw the speed of Hector Camacho Jr. There you see it once again. Big left foot.
Don't hold your head, okay? Come on, come on, come on, come on.
Steve Smoger, the referee, telling Camacho, do not hold and hit.
Maybe we ought to see these 16-foot rounds rings more often.
That's the combination right there that I was telling you about that he specializes in. That half a scoot back as you're coming in to lose your balance just enough for him to then drill you with the straight left.
And you can see the power of Camacho. It rocked Leija back.
There it is again.
Lightning took action to end the third round.
More 16-foot rings.
We won this round. The guy is cut. You're the young guy here. He's already cut. It's only a matter of time. We're doing real good.
Good left hand by Junior here. Stunned and sent Leija off balance. Recovered quickly. When you get to the age of Leija, 35 years old, many fighters just don't want to take a beating anymore.
And that always looms in the back of guys' minds when they're at that age. A lot of times when the fight gets to be tough, they'll just say, hey, well, I'm going to be
But I don't see any of that in Leija yet.
Not tonight, no.
Harold, you like what you see so far?
Oh, yeah, it's a great fight so far. Okay, 29-28, 2 rounds to 1, Jesse James Leija. I got to tell you, friend, that shot that staggered Hector Camacho and made him grab the rope to stay up won the first round for Jesse James Leija. It was the telling punch of the fight so far. In the second round, Jesse James Leija, with blood pouring down his face, outpunched Camacho again. But the judges tend to look at the blood, not the punches. In the third round, Camacho easily won it, staggering Leija. 2-1 Leija.
I have it 2-1 for Camacho.
And in the third round, Camacho landing 52% of his power shots, 11 of 21. Larry, you mentioned in his last fight here in New York City against Joe Hutchinson, Hector Camacho Jr. was booed at the end of the fight. And he told us yesterday in our fighter meetings, he definitely wants to put on a strong performance in front of a New York crowd.
He's fighting about as good a fight as he can fight with Jesse James. Jesse James is looking pretty good tonight. And no one is really jabbing that much effectively. Both guys are waiting to try to land the big shots with their right hand or with their left hand. The jabs are just hard.
How tough is it, though, to jab against a southpaw from Leija's perspective?
It is difficult, but you can still work it because it's something they don't expect. You just have to jab at an angle where you come over top of their shoulder.
Punch. Step out. Very good.
Jr. The intensity picking up as the fourth round comes to a close. Monday, July 16th. Catch the next edition of Real Sports with Brian Gumbel. Among the stories we're working on, a look at high school basketball star Amari Stoudemire, whose story embodies the many problems within the prep school basketball system. Also, the Miracle League, a baseball league developed for handicapped children with the support of a very special community. That's Monday, July 16th at 10 p.m. Real Sports, nothing is out of bounds.
You can do it, James. Close the gap a little bit. Don't give him this.
Try the corner up. Okay, try the corner up. Put the corner out.
I honestly didn't think the fight would be going this long after seeing that cut in the first round, Emmanuel.
No, I have to give a lot of credit to the cut man, Joe Sousa. He did a great job.
That's frequently as Leija cuts. Once again, he said he's only had one fight stop because of cuts, and that was his third bout against the great Azuma Nelson.
Oh, a bad cut now, or what looks like a bad cut.
Bad cut.
On an accidental butt on the right eye of Camacho.
That's a bad cut, and I don't know if he's got a good cut man in his corner or not. And never having been cut before, it's probably going to have much more psychological effect on him than it had on Leija.
Let's bring in Harold Letterman. Harold, what does this mean?
Okay, we're only in the fourth round. If it gets stopped in the fifth round, if it gets stopped before the round ends, it's a no contest or a technical draw.
Yes.
If the bell rings to end the fifth round, we go to the scorecards. That's providing that Smoker called it an accidental headbutt, which I think he will call it. If a punch opened up that cut, then Jesse James Leija wins on a TKO.
Don't punch, don't punch. Step out, step out, step out, step out, step out.
Halfway through the fifth. Leija trying to take advantage.
The old guy is going for it.
Get off the rope, get off the rope.
Emmanuel, I think you are correct. There could be a psychological effect.
From looking at his eye, he just about wants to quit right now for the most part. He doesn't know how to handle this.
Leija measuring up Camacho Jr. Camacho Jr. trying to tie up and escape the round.
Well, we're going to find out what Hector Camacho Jr. is made of tonight. He's a 6-1 favorite against a great 35-year-old pro. He's supposed to win this fight as the young guy coming up. How does he survive this cut and this old man who's behaving like a younger guy?
And is fighting a good fight beyond the cut. Leija is fighting a good fight still.
Jesse James Leija trying to take advantage of an accidental headbutt.
I can't see.
You know, they're halfway through the round. The respirator, no one has applied anything to the cut still at this stage. It's virtually, at this stage, it looks like they have no preparation at all for a cut.
Can you see?
Are they treating that cut correctly?
From what I can see, it looked like they're using pure Vaseline, which is something that you don't do for the
Here's
first round.
a clash of heads.
Camacho looked like he was moving forward.
Camacho Jr. is saying that what he sees is blurry from his right eye. Doesn't seem to be any worse of a cut than Leija has, but perhaps that's unfair because we're not in a position to actually know. Camacho's, it almost sounds as if he wants this fight stopped.
It seems like he wants to quit himself.
All right. Back to your corners, back to your corner, back to your corner. Clean up this corner. Clean up the corner. Clean up the corner. All right, stay there. Get in your corner. Get in your corner.
All right, let's bring in Harold Letterman. Harold, one more time for us. Clarify exactly what will take place if this fight can't go on.
Okay, Steve Smoger called it an accidental headbutt. If the fight gets stopped, it's got to be half the number of rounds, 5 rounds. We're now in the 6th. So therefore, if the fight gets stopped because of the accidental headbutt, we go to the scorecards.
What's going on here? Camacho Jr. looks like he wants out of this fight. The doctor may be helping him get out of the fight. The scorecards may be in his favor.
He's claiming
Camacho is going over to Leija.
The referee better stop this. Referee.
You have to go to the cards. He claims he can't see. He claims he cannot see.
Jesse James Leija comes over and says to us, how many times have I been cut? I go on. Where is the...
He says he can't see. The fight is over, you go to the card. No. The doctor stopped it.
We wonder now if the doctor is overreacting to this cut.
Exactly.
But how does the doctor determine even whether he can see out of that eye?
He's saying he can't see.
He can't see.
Yeah. From the butt. I don't know.
Yeah.
What round is this? Did they fight the 5th round? They fit the 5th round.
Yeah.
So it goes, okay. Commish, tell him what to tell them.
Jesse, hands up, Jesse.
Doctor's advice. He's claiming he cannot see.
Oh, yeah. He's very nice.
Yeah.
I'm on the line.
Did
the doctor stop it?
Don't know. Can't tell you anything to go to the commission.
Right now is my birthday. Today is my birthday. Thank you. This way. Jesse, hands up over here, Jesse.
Claiming he can't see. Yes, sir.
Come on, Jesse, right here. Lucky shot. Rise them all you can, man. Everyone knows what happened. We know what happened, man. We know what happened. And we know what happened.
Jesse James Leija came over to us and he told us, I've been cut my entire career. I'm the one who's 35. Camacho Jr. is 22, but who doesn't want to fight?
It's just going to be interesting to see what is going to be rendered as the official decision.
Harold, let's see if you can clarify what's going on for us.
Okay, friend. This is the way it should be. Steve Smoker said that the cut was caused by an accidental headbutt. The New York State rules clearly state that if 5 rounds have been completed, half the number of rounds, which they were, you go to the scorecards because the fight was stopped by a cut caused by an accidental headbutt. The key is going to be that second round. I've got a 3-2 Leija, 48-47, but if they give that second round to Camacho, he's going to win it 48-47. That's the key to the whole thing.
35 years old right now. 35 years old.
All right, let's head inside the ring now to ring announcer Michael Buffer to get the official decision.
Ladies and gentlemen, your attention, please. We have a stoppage in the bout due to an accidental headbutt. Hector Camacho Jr. is unable to continue. The wound was too severe. The bout had 5 complete rounds, and we go to the scorecards for those 5 rounds for a technical decision. Larry Hazard Jr. scores the bout, 49-46. Bobby Gilson scores it, 48-47, and Chick Hill has it, 49-46, all for the winner by unanimous technical decision, still undefeated from San Juan, Puerto Rico, Hector Macho Camacho Jr.
So Hector Camacho Jr. wins on a technical decision after the fight is stopped after an accidental headbutt. Emmanuel, obviously we saw Hector Camacho Jr. did not want to go on. He said he had blurry vision.
Yeah.
Was it advantageous for him to quit?
I think that someone in his corner, his camp, informed him that he was ahead on the scorecards, and the best thing for him to do was to refuse to fight anymore. From what I could see, I saw no reason for him to not fight. His cut was nowhere near as severe as Leija's, and it had been stopped. The blood had coagulated, and he should have fought. I think that based on evidently him doing something that he shouldn't have been doing, he elected to take the safe way out, and it's just not that popular with the fans.
Okay, well, let's take a look at the final punch stat numbers for Camacho Jr. and Leija. And there you see Camacho Jr. more active, and he landed 12 more punches. So concurring with the judges' scorecards, that's accurate. But let's take a look at the total jabs now. And there you see Jesse James Leija landing just 1 jab, and Camacho Jr. throwing nearly 100 more. It's tough, though, to throw a jab against a southpaw, but he only landed 1.
That's correct, but I think that it's very possible that Camacho could have been ahead on points. The last round, it was scored, which it should have, was almost a 20-18 round, 10-8 round, because it was such a big disparity. And it's just bad to end like this, when I think that, personally myself, Camacho could have came back since the blood seemingly had stopped, and I think he probably could have eventually won the fight anyway.
All right, well, let's send it inside the ring now to Larry with Jesse James Leija.
All right, thank you, guys. There's a bit of back and forthing going on here between the fighters verbally. Hector, why did you want out of the fight?
I didn't want out the fight. I mean, if I could see I could fight, I mean, Jesse's coming in with headbutts and elbows, throughout the first 4 rounds, and I respect that from Jesse coming with the head. That type of fighter he is. He caught me with the headbutt. I didn't see the butt, but hit me more in the eye, especially not only the cut, hit me like in the bone.
All right, from what we can see, if you take your glasses off, please, the cut is above the eye. Where does it affect your vision, and how?
It wasn't a cut, like it hit me in the bone. I felt a little blurry. But I thought that guy could keep on. I'm blurry, but I could keep on. I'm okay. If I had a good, if I could, I'll win the fight easy.
Did you plead with the doctor, I can go on? Because it sounded like you were saying, I can't see, I don't want this fight to go on.
No, he told me, can you see? As I could see blurry one eye, but I'm okay, I could see. He said, well, do you want to keep on? I said, I'm okay.
Do you think that this kind of outcome is going to raise more questions than it answers about your career?
Well, there's always going to be opinions. There's always going to be questions. I'll keep answering. I'm still undefeated and I won.
All right, let's take a look at the butt and how it happened. And would you describe it for us, please, Hector?
I didn't see Jesse. And Jesse's the kind of fighter that comes in with his head. Not to say you don't have a big head, but he comes in with the head. There go the butt right there. Hit me more in the bone, which I clinch. He came up from under. I didn't see it. I mean, my cut was a headbutt. His cut from a punch. And, he came low. That's okay. It's.
Do you think it would have been fairer if this was declared a no contest? Because both of you were cut. It was an accidental butt. The fight didn't have a resolution. And please don't coach the fighter.
Larry, I'm going to say whatever I want to say, okay? Sorry about
that.
I will cut this interview off if you don't shut up.
Hey, Larry, you cut it off. You say what you want to say. I'm going to say what I'm going to say.
Okay, Larry, like the best promoter I do have, he said, rules are rules and it's the truth. I mean, fairness to it would have been, if they won, fairness to them would have been, a draw, a technical draw. But the rules are rules. State of New York, they go to the scorecard. I was winning, won the 4 rounds, and that's what happened.
Would you give him a rematch?
I mean, that's not an issue.
I'm just asking the question.
That's something I leave up to Jesse's people, my promoters. I mean, we won and we keep out from there. We talk tomorrow.
Thank you very much, Hector. All right, Jesse, give us your version of the event.
Well, it was a good fight. He was fighting tough, but my whole plan was to get used to his speed at the beginning of the first few rounds, and I started getting used to him, and I was doing well. I started coming back. And I was hitting him. I heard him the first round, obviously, and he heard me. Hey, you had your piece. Hey, Camacho. Hey, you had your piece. Let me say my piece, okay? I didn't interrupt you. So everything was going well. I got cut, not fight. He got cut. Hey, you know what? Men have to fight. When you get cut, this is boxing. You bleed, and he was fine. The doctor, I heard the doctor say you're good to go, and he kept complaining. He kept hesitating and waiting, but that's fine. That's what he wants to do. But you know what? I want to take him into the late rounds, the last 10 rounds where it gets tough. When the tough get going, we get going. We don't stop. We don't stop fighting. But you know what? I'm here, Dan Goosen. I'm the guy that they have running around. I just turned 35 years old today. I'm the old man, but you know what? I don't quit. I fight. I've had 10 cuts, 5 cuts. I just keep fighting. Blood's not going to get mine. I'm a warrior. But you know what? All I want to say is I'm a classy guy. It's up to them. The people are the true judges. And all I want to say is I love my sons, James and Dean. I'll be home tomorrow. I'm 35 years old today. I love you, boys. I love you.
Do you think that this was calculated on his part, that he thought he was winning the fight early, and so he wants it?
Of course, man. They're gonna run as soon as they can, because the tough gets going in the last few rounds, man. Once after 6 rounds, it's a fight. It's a fight. And you know what? If it's tough, the week will get going. And we know what happened. How many times have you seen me fight? Blood everywhere. Do I stop? I've never stopped.
Thank you. Would you respond to that?
I mean, Justice is a great fighter. I mean, they're taking away from Justice. He came to fight. I mean, Justice came to fight a tough veteran. I mean, I expected from Justice. I did expect to have butts and elbows like he was a veteran. He used all the tactics he could to slow me down.
Did he hurt you in the first round?
Oh, no. Justice, he just hit me with a good shot, and I took the shot and kept on going from there.
Thank you very much, Hector.
Thank you.
Thank you, Larry.
Thank you, Jesse.
Thank you. I want to say hi to, I want to say hi to everybody. Whether I fight again or I don't know, I just want to know that, I just want people to know that I brought a little bit of class to this sport. Thank you.
You have, Jesse. Back to you at ringside.
All right, Larry. So Hector Camacho Jr. wins a unanimous technical decision, and here we see the judges' scorecards all in favor of Camacho. Hazard Jr. has it by just 1 point. The other 2 judges by 3 points through 5 rounds. Let's bring in now our unofficial ringside scorer, Harold Letterman. Camacho Jr. told Larry that he actually petitioned for the doctor for the fight to continue. That's not what we heard. We heard that his eye was blurry, his vision was blurry, and that he couldn't see. At what point does the doctor have to make a definitive decision on what's going to take place.
Hey, Fran, listen, let me tell you something. We had one death in New York, 12 days ago. You certainly don't want anybody to get hurt. If a guy can't see, I mean, the doctor has every right to tell the referee to stop the fight, period. I mean, if I was the referee, I wouldn't even need the doctor. Guy says he can't see. You stop the damn fight. You don't push out a guy to fight and get himself killed if he can't see. I mean, that's pure insane. If you can't see, if your vision is blurry, stop the fight. So Smoker stopped it, okay? And this is where I have a problem. My problem is with the scoring. I mean, Jesse James Leija hits him a shot in the first round, okay, that virtually knocks the guy out. I don't care if he got out jabbed or not for 2 minutes. He hits him a shot. Camacho grabs the rope to stay on his feet, and when you got 49 points, for Hector Camacho, that means that he only lost one round, and he certainly lost the fifth round so big, like Emmanuel Stewart said, it could have been a 10-8 round. I mean, so obviously the judges gave him the first round, which is atrocious, absolutely atrocious.
So, Harold, you believe it's a hometown decision?
The second round, obviously, Leija pouring blood, still out-punches Camacho. On my scorecard, he easily won that because you don't score the blood, you score the punches. Rounds 3 and 4, very simple. Hector Camacho won him easily with the jab. And round 5, Jesse James Leija beat the tar out of him. It was an easy fight to score. My problem with this fight was that it should have been 48-47 Leija instead of 48-47 Camacho, as Larry hasn't called it.
Harold, the New York State Athletic Commission has been under fire since the unfortunate death of Batavia in Scotland. Do you think tonight this may have been an overreaction so that something unfortunate didn't happen in the ring? And we weren't close to that, but obviously they have been under heavy scrutiny.
Well, an overreaction would have been if they would have let a guy that can't see go out for the 6th round. I mean, you know, when a guy says he can't see, you stop the fight. Only the referee can stop the fight. Steve Smoga obviously asked for the doctor's advice before he stopped it, but Steve is the one that has to stop the fight, and thank the Lord he did. Good job by Steve Smoga, but I wasn't crazy about the judges.
Okay, let's bring in Emmanuel Stewart quickly. And Emmanuel, first off, when you saw Hector Camacho Jr. being attended to in the corner, immediately you said they are not doing a good job of trying to stop that cut.
Well, I think it was more emphasis was being put on whether to let him continue to fight or not. And what bothers me a lot is even before he got to the corner, I mean, himself, he kept indicating in so many ways to the referee that he basically wanted to quit. Himself, he just said, like, I want out of here. I mean, this is not the kind of party that I intended to come to. And he just said, hey, I want out of here. And that was before he even knew probably what was going on with the scorecards. So he won the fight officially tonight, but I think he lost a lot of credibility. And I believe, honestly, that if he had continued to fight with his talent, I believe he would have had a good chance of winning that fight anyway, legitimately.
Okay, so the Camacho name continues to have controversy swirl around it. Now, we wanted to get an interview with the doctor, but the New York State Athletic Commission would not allow us, so we will not be hearing from the doctor who determined that Hector Camacho Jr. could not continue. Larry Merchant, any final thoughts?
Well, we're in Coney Island, and the Wonder Wheel goes around and around, and so does boxing. The Cyclone goes up and down and around and careens all over the place, and so does boxing. And my dear old parachute jump, which is just beyond right field but can't be seen, is defunct. And sometimes we think boxing is defunct as well. I have fond memories as a boy of riding up on the parachute jump. It seemed like it took an hour to get up, and when you came down, your stomach was up in your eyeballs. We had some fireworks tonight between the fights. We had some excitement, and we had the hometown boy deciding that discretion was the better part of valor.
All right, Larry, still to come. We do have some final thoughts, but first, let's take a look at some upcoming network programming.